Enlightenment is a word that carries profound significance in many spiritual traditions. It is often described as the ultimate goal of human existence, the highest state of being that one can attain. Yet, despite its revered status, enlightenment is also one of the most misunderstood concepts. People often imagine it as a mystical experience, a state of bliss that comes after years of ascetic practice, or as a state of superhuman abilities. But what is true enlightenment? The fact is that enlightenment is not something to be attained or achieved. It is not a state that one enters after a long struggle. Instead, enlightenment is simply the realization of what has always been true. It is the understanding that our true nature is pure consciousness, beyond the body and mind, beyond time and space. Reality is not what we perceive with our senses or understand with our minds. The world we see around us, the physical objects, the people, the events, are all part of an illusion, a projection of consciousness. This does not mean that the world is unreal, but that it is not the ultimate reality. It is a temporary, ever-changing manifestation that conceals the true, unchanging reality underneath. Imagine the sun shining in the sky. The sun is always there, always shining, but sometimes clouds cover it and we cannot see its light. In the same way, our true nature, pure consciousness, is always present, but it is often obscured by the clouds of our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. Consciousness is the foundation of all experiences. It is the light that illuminates everything we perceive. Without consciousness, there would be no awareness, no perception, no experience of the world. Yet, most people take consciousness for granted. They identify with the body and mind, thinking that consciousness is just a byproduct of the brain, a function of the mind. But this is a fundamental mistake. The consciousness is the essence of our being, the true self that is beyond the body and mind. The body and mind are merely vehicles, temporary forms that consciousness takes on. They are like the images on a screen, while consciousness is the screen itself. The images come and go, but the screen remains unchanged. This understanding is crucial for realizing true enlightenment. When we identify with the body and mind, we are caught in the illusion of separation and duality. We see ourselves as individuals, separate from the rest of the world, subject to birth and death, pleasure and pain. But when we recognize that we are consciousness itself, we see that we are beyond all these things. We are the unchanging reality that underlies all experiences, the eternal presence that is always here. True enlightenment is not about doing anything, but about being what we already are. It is about recognizing that we are not the body, not the mind, not the ego, but pure consciousness, the eternal presence that is always here. Enlightenment is not a distant goal to be reached, but a realization of what has always been true. It is the understanding that we are pure consciousness, beyond the illusions of the ego and the mind, the eternal presence that is always here, now and forever.